bar was loud, the kind of loud that shakes the dust out of the ceiling and fills the air with the smell of smoke, grease, and trouble. But at the center of all that noise, there was a moment sharp, sudden, and almost terrifying in which everything seemed to freeze. It happened the instant the biker's eyes fell on the bruise blooming across the waitress's arm, a deep purple stain against pale skin. She tried to pull her arm back, tried to hide the evidence of a pain she had learned to endure silently. But he saw it, and the entire bar felt the shift in his expression like a cold wind sliding under the door. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and standing up for those who feel small, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It truly helps keep stories like this alive. Her name was Maya, and she had been working double shifts for weeks, trying to gather enough to escape a life she never meant to fall into. She moved quietly, always polite, always calm, even when the crowd was rough. People liked her, but no one ever really noticed her, not in the way that mattered. She carried her bruises like unseen weights, hidden beneath her sleeves, behind her smile, under the hum of everyday survival. The man who noticed that day was not someone she expected to care. He was a towering figure covered in tattoos, his vest decorated with patches that whispered danger. People moved out of his way without him needing to say a word. He wasn't the type who comforted strangers. He wasn't the type who got involved in matters that weren't his. But when he saw her flinch as he handed over his empty glass, something in his face changed. It wasn't anger directed at her, it was protective, sharp, almost primal. Maya had been hurt before, but never had anyone reacted like that. Her boss usually told her to toughen up. Customers sometimes stared with curiosity, but no one stepped closer. No one ever asked if she was okay. No one ever stood between her and the storm. Yet here he was, a man forged in conflict, a man feared by many, looking at her bruise as if it were a personal wound. She tried to brush it off, to turn away and lose herself back into work, but he gently held her wrist, lifting it just slightly, enough to see the full mark. She avoided his eyes. Shame was familiar, but this time it burned hotter because she knew he genuinely cared. The room behind them quieted, the other bikers watching with interest, as if sensing something brewing beneath the surface. For weeks, she had returned home to a boyfriend who promised change and delivered only pain. Every night she told herself she'd leave, and every morning she convinced herself she couldn't. Fear has a way of settling into the bones, whispering reasons to stay even when your soul screams to run. But in that bar, at that moment, something inside her cracked. Not like breaking, more like opening. The biker didn't make a scene. He didn't roar or slam his fist on the table. Instead, he looked around the bar, his eyes landing on each man sitting near them, as if silently asking who dared lay a hand on her. The bar fell into an uneasy stillness. Even the roughest men seemed to shrink under his gaze. Maya's heart thudded loudly in her chest. She felt exposed, vulnerable, terrified not of him, but of the truth spreading through the room. And then, unexpectedly, she felt safe. He didn't need her words. He read the answer in her silence, in her lowered gaze, in the way her fingers trembled. He let go of her wrist gently, but the concern in his expression only deepened. Maya felt something she hadn't felt in years, someone on her side. For the next hour, the entire energy of the bar shifted. The man positioned himself near her station, not hovering, not intimidating her, but simply existing like a shield. The other bikers, the ones who followed his lead, watched too. They weren't judging her, they weren't angry at her, they were angry at the world that had hurt her. As she continued working, she felt their silent protection surrounding her like armor she never asked for but desperately needed. She moved differently, still cautious, but lighter somehow. She caught the biker glancing at her more than once, checking for signs of fear, checking if she needed help. Each time he saw her looking back, he gave a subtle nod, a wordless promise that she wasn't alone. When her shift ended and the crowd thinned out, Maya stepped outside behind the bar, hoping to breathe in some air that didn't smell like spilled beer or cigarette smoke. She hugged herself, the evening wind brushing against her bruised skin. She didn't expect the biker to follow, but he did, stepping out slowly, giving her space, while still making it clear that he was there for her if she wanted to speak. She didn't tell him everything. She didn't break down or confess every painful detail. But she did something braver. She admitted she needed help. She admitted she didn't feel safe going home. And that admission alone changed everything. The biker nodded, then motioned to one of his brothers who came out with a phone, offering her resources, support, safety. They didn't lecture her. They didn't pity her. They empowered her. They made her feel, for the first time in a long time, like her life was worth fighting for. The word spread quietly among the group, and they all treated her with a level of respect and seriousness she had never experienced. These men, known for being rough, short-tempered, and intimidating, showed her a form of compassion that was unexpected and overwhelming. The contrast between what people assumed of them and what they actually did was powerful enough to bring tears to her eyes. And when she finally made the choice to leave her toxic home, they ensured she had a safe place to go. They didn't involve themselves out of drama or curiosity. They stepped in because they believed no one deserved to suffer in silence, because sometimes the strongest protectors come from the most unlikely places. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It truly supports the channel more than you know. Before you go, comment below. Everyone deserves protection. Maya's life didn't magically become perfect overnight, but she was no longer alone. She was healing, she was growing stronger, and all because one man in a noisy bar looked past her smile and saw the truth hiding beneath it. Sometimes a single moment of kindness can change the entire direction of someone's life, and sometimes the heroes we never expect are the ones who save us in ways we never see coming.